Valorant has just given us a new cosmic controller. Hailing from the land of Ghana, Astra is the newest addition to the Valorant agent lineup. Debuting last February 28, 2021, and being able to be played by the public on March 2nd, Astra is definitely an agent you don't want to miss out on. Whether you're just playing with friends to have fun or sweating it out in rank, this game-changing new agent will definitely change the name of the game. And with her, time and space are not what you think. My name is Alia Van Geek, and let's get to know the new agent of Valorant. First off, we know she's a controller, but she's not limited to being just that. Controllers are responsible to provide strategic pressure and dramatically alter enemy sightlines. But we think she's not a pure controller. She's more of a hybrid in our opinion. She has Initiator and Sentinel abilities, which we'll get back to later. But speaking of special abilities, she has quite the arsenal. Let's start it off with her first ability, which is being able to go into astral form. She can literally float across the map to have that vantage point. This is when you can actually plant your stars. To use the abilities of Astra, you need to have stars which you can gain every round or buy. Fly till your heart's content, but beware. You will be vulnerable in this state if an enemy sneaks up on you, so project with caution. So once you have your stars lined up and ready to use, you'll be able to trigger the first ability. With the Gravity Well, you'll be able to use gravitational force to pull your enemies to the center of where you planted a star. Not only that, but players stuck inside will get a vulnerable debuff. Next up, we have her concussion, which is the Nova Pulse. It's like a watered-down version of Breach's fault line, which role is, you guessed it, an initiator. This ability will disorient enemies and make them more vulnerable to an attack. Now, let's talk about what makes her a controller, her smokes. What makes Astra unique is that she actually has two versions of it. Her first one is the Nebula, a standard 15-second smoke with really cool effects, which, in my opinion, is the fanciest looking in the whole game. But don't be distracted by the pretty colors because what lies outside of the smoke might spell death. Now, Nebula's little sister is called Dissipate. After placing a star, you can actually pick it back up and it releases a very short 2-second smoke. But you have to wait for an 8-second cooldown to use the star again. Patience is a virtue. If you think Astra has really cool abilities so far, her ultimate is even cooler. Astra's Cosmic Divide sends up a towering bulletproof wall that blocks off all visual sights and dampens audio cues from one end of the map to the other. The Cosmic Divide can really make a post-plant ult to keep enemies away from the site or to retake it. Now all of those mixed role abilities sounds really good so far, but let's see what makes her even greater. Let's start with her Gravity Well. You can force an opposing player off an angle and even forcing players off a plant and diffuse animation. You can plant your stars from anywhere in the map. So, if you know exactly where the opposing team is, you can set up your smokes, concussion, and Gravity Well and trap them where you want them to be. Not only that, the enemy team won't exactly know where you'll be, because you don't even have to be there to be able to use your utilities. Every Valorant agent has an essential combo. The variety of her kit is what makes her hard to use for beginners, but of course, the more that she'll be played, the more people can come up with killer combos. You can use the Gravity Well to pull out an enemy off an angle, plus Nova Pulse to concuss them. You can also use a Nova Pulse and Smoke combo to help with the rush, or you can use all three. Go crazy. Stars can actually act as a deterrent. When an enemy sees a star planted, they go off to another direction to avoid them, which you can use to your advantage by using stars to scare off enemies and funnel them. She's a very post-plant agent, and she can very much clutch post-plant situations, very much like Viper, but her wall is actually better than Viper's. One more important thing to note though is that when we played on the test server, Astra was able to see the spike while in astral form. Astra can literally just chill in the bomb site and give valuable information to her team. Now that seems a little bit overpowered in my opinion, but let's take all of this with a grain of salt because the Valorant devs are already working on fixing bugs on Astra's abilities as we speak, so expect to see some changes in the next few weeks. Valorant newbies beware, because Astra is one complicated girl. Astra has a very big learning curve. She requires a lot of map awareness, which can be off-putting to beginners. Not only that, but going into astral form actually makes her very vulnerable for a few seconds. You lose all of your senses, so you don't know what's happening around you. So if you plant a star, you have to be very cautious to where you should be. A lot of prep goes into playing this agent, and it'll be hard to rush with Astra if you haven't planned out your stars yet. By being a more inexperienced player, using Astra can be more damaging to your team if not utilized well. So I think you should leave Astra to the more experienced players. When we said that planting her stars beforehand can be used as a deterrent, well, it can also be a giveaway if it wasn't done on purpose to deter. Enemies can visibly see the stars and know that you will use them, so they will avoid it if you aren't fast enough to use them. While using her ult, while it may be bulletproof, other agents' utilities can go through the cosmic divide. Take Phoenix and Brimstone's Molly for example. It goes right through. A really good counter to her ult is Sova's Recon Bolt. It reveals the enemies through the wall, removing that essential element of surprise. Flashes go through the wall as well, providing blindness to whoever is on the other side. So, keep your distance. Well, that was our first look into Valorant's new badass controller. What do you guys think of Astra? Will she be OP? Or will she be like Yoru and be good in the beginning but falter at the end? Let us know in the comment section what you guys think. And it would be amazing if you guys could like the video and subscribe to Ungeek so you won't have to miss out on our future content. Again, this has been Ali from Ungeek, and I'll see you on the other side.